Work with People. That's the title of the latest book by Chad Veach, and it releases today. As the pastor of a huge church, Chad interacts with thousands of people, including lots of celebrities. Take a look.
Chad Veach is the pastor of Zoe Church in Los Angeles. He's also a husband and a father of 4. His diverse church includes people from every walk of life, including celebrities like Justin Bieber, Haley Baldwin, Kourtney Kardashian, and Chris Pratt. Pastor Veach believes working with people can be the most challenging and the most rewarding part of life. In his book, Help, I Work with People, Veach shares practical tips on developing your people skills, learning how to influence others, dealing with conflict, and becoming a great leader.
Chad, it's great to have you with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a delight to talk to you.
Well, the first word in the title of your book is help. Why do we so desperately need help in our interaction with each other?
Well, I think the whole premise of the book is pivoting from help, I work with people to, having a desire and really a motivation to say, help, I work with people. And like the Apostle Paul said, I want to become all things to all people so I can win with them. So it's not like a dreaded help my in-laws or my neighbors or my coworkers, but really the spirit of the book is saying, help, I want to be good with others because I want to lead them to the ultimate destination, which is a relationship with God.
And you say that the hardest person you're ever going to have to be in charge of is yourself. So really when you're saying help, it's help me be better myself first, right?
The whole thing about the blame game is that I'd love to play it. It just doesn't get me anywhere. So I'd love to blame others and they're the problem and their opinion and their issues. But, the common denominator in all my relationships is me. So I've got to get healthy. I've got to get a right perspective and a right premise. I've got to get really comfortable in my own skin and discover the why of my life. And then if I can lead myself, leading others gets really easy.
We need to be people persons because we interact with each other every day, but some people are shy, some people are extroverts, some people would like to talk but really don't know if they have the ability or the right to. How do we become people persons?
Well, that is the question. How do we become people persons? Because the reality is, no matter what business you're in, even if you're a stay-at-home mom right now during COVID, you're in the people business. All of us have influence. The definition of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. They say the average person will influence 70,000 people in their lifetime. That's just the average person. So we have to first realize we are, number one, in the people business. Number two, we're influencing others. And if we're going to get good at this, we've got to determine that people are not the problem. People are who God loves the most. If that's who God loves the most and who I work with the most, I should spend a little bit of time trying to get good at navigating through life, because you can't do life well if you're doing people wrong. So we got to figure this out. If we want to do life well, we got to figure out how to work well with others.
Well, one of the things you say is that to connect with people, we have to first show them that we care about them. And I think most people would say, well, how do I do that?
Yeah, well, it first starts with the motivation or the desire to connect with others, trying to find a common ground. We live in this divided culture and a divided nation, and all we're focusing on right now is our differences. But humanity, we have so much in common. So if I want to win with others, I'm not going to do that from, my opinion and, from my place of life. I've got to really lean in and listen and try and discover where they're coming from and their unique gift mix for them, for their life. So I think we just got to work hard. Connection starts with the desire to connect.
Well, because we're so busy sharing our opinions, as you mentioned, there's a lot of conflict in the world today, not just here in the United States, but literally in the world today. But you say in the book that actually conflict can be a good thing. In what way?
Well, I always think conflict is an opportunity to prove our commitment to one another, our real connection to each other. I'm never afraid of conflict. Conflict is inevitable. Anybody that's been in a family knows there's conflict. Anybody that's been a part of a church or any job you've had, conflict's that inevitable thing that's going to happen in life. I'm never afraid of conflict. I'm only concerned with the one that doesn't have conflict resolution, because we got to resolve. We got to bring, it's kind of like, I grew up in church playing piano, and I love that suspended, note, that suspended chord, but it's got to resolve back to the one so we can continue on with the music. Life is that thing that we got to resolve our issues, resolve. Maybe you've been offended. Maybe you've been betrayed or hurt. You know what? I'm not discrediting that, but we've got to get to a place where we can resolve our conflicts and move forward, because it's not going to do us any good to hold on to those offenses.
You could have written about many topics in this day and age. Why was it important for you to write this specific book at this particular time?
Well, I really felt like writing my first leadership book that I wanted to write what I think leadership is all about. I think leadership in life are all about people. Life is about people. If anything that we've learned out of COVID is that it's not about the buildings. It's all about people. People make a place, and people make the world go round. So I wanted to write a book to inspire people to really pivot from that whole, help. I work with this person and that person and that, this kind of conflict that's in my life, to really inspire people to say, no, let's really get our hearts and our minds right. Life is about others, adding value to others, serving others, encouraging and equipping others. And if we can get that down, life is going to get so much better.
Encouraging others, we wind up watering our own souls. I want to say Chad's book is called Help. I Work with People, and don't we all? I want to say it is a fresh encouragement to how to do that with influence and leadership and doing it effectively. It's being released today. It's available wherever books are sold. Thanks for another good one, Chad. It's great.
Always great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bless you.